When we're young, we have an amazing, positive outlook about how great life is going to be, but somewhere along the line, we forget to dream and end up settling. Join Up Dots features amazing people who refuse to give up and chose to go after their dreams. This is your blueprint for greatness. So here's your host, live from the back of his garden in the UK, David Ralph.
Yes, hello there. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, and welcome to Join Up Dots. Thank you for being here. How are we all? It's I'm doing a weird thing. Normally with Join Up Dots, I have them all scheduled up for sort of like weeks and months in advance. But I've got quite a lot on my plate at the moment, so I'm kind of recording and releasing straight away. So for anybody out there who has been waiting for this show to be dropped, yes, that's what the youngsters say now. We used to, in the old days, we used to go and buy albums and buy singles and stuff, and you'd wait for them to be released. But now they're dropped. I don't know why everything is being dropped and not released, but anyway, that's what the kids say. So if you've been waiting for this podcast episode to be dropped on you, well, you've had to wait. Yeah, I can't do anything more about it, but yeah, we're a few hours late on it, but it's still on the right day. Still on the right day. Never missed a day. Boom! Commitment and perseverance. So how are we all? Really hot in the United Kingdom at the moment. Really stinking hot. And for anybody who's keeping up with my drive for fitness, even though it's been 33 degrees, I have still been riding my bike. Yes, I've been ploughing through the English countryside, getting home with like just the sweat pouring off me like a tap, but I'm still doing it, and each time I do it, it gets easier, which is why I talk about it, because everything that we do is hard at the beginning and then gets easier and easier, so that you forget the pain and you think, oh, it was easy, but it wasn't. Anyway, I had a message from a guy from Denver, Colorado, and this is a guy who's been in contact with me on and off for a few years now, and he sent a message to me the other day on Messenger. And he says, "Hi, David. I hope life is treating you well. I've started an electrical business and I've been focusing more on that lately than my passion of being a photographer. I still do photography, but the electrical business is way more lucrative. I don't hate electrical work, but I also don't love it. My question is, should I build the electrical company so I can do amazing things in the future, or should I struggle in the beginning to do what I love?" So, this is the question, and we will throw it out to you guys as well. And I'll tell you what I answered, because if you'd asked me that question maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I would have gone with get the dream, don't settle for anything, and sort of plow through. And so do the photography work, and even if you're not getting much money, just keep on building up that business. I've now changed over the last few years, and I now think to myself that no matter what you do in life, a dream job becomes a job. You lose the dream if you're doing it constantly. Now, I record podcasts, and I thoroughly enjoy recording podcasts and running Join Up Dots, but I didn't say I love it, because there are certain things in the Join Up Dots world that I actually don't love. I don't love ploughing through hundreds of emails that I get, all the messages that come through. I love responding to people, and everybody gets a response, but you still have to read them, and you have to go through all the pitches that people are wanting to come on the show and stuff. And so there's a lot of paperwork and administration behind the scenes of the show, but I'm still willing to do it because it's my job now. And I would say, as I say, about 70% I really enjoy, and 30% is a bit of a pain. But you've got to be pragmatic when you're building a business, and you've got to think to yourself, am I willing to put the effort in to get the rewards later, or am I willing to struggle and then try to get the dream later? Now, I think now, being pragmatic, we've got bills to pay. I would rather actually get the money in first. Get the money in to give me the ability to do the things that I love. So keep the things that I love as a hobby until the time that you can just transition across. So this is what I answered to Lucas Gordon, and I said to him, I can answer this 100%, Bring in the money, mate. Be pragmatic about it. You see, nobody ends up having a business that they truly love, no matter what they say. I used to think that was the case, but now I see it otherwise. Otherwise, it would just be called a hobby and not a job. Now, with Join Up Dots, I would say there's 70% that I love and 30% that's a hassle. But it is as it is. What it does give me is, number one, no boss. That's a big tick in my life. Number two, no fixed timescales. And number three, the ability to travel when and where I want and take my business with me. Now, I don't actually. I do travel where and when, well, I used to before this bloody COVID thing come in. But I always leave my business behind. I just switch it off and I come back 5 or 6 weeks later and turn it back on. I've been very focused in creating a business that doesn't engulf me and you can't free yourself. Now, I continued on this message and I said, I actually found a vision board. And this is true. If you don't know anything about vision boards, the idea of it is that you put the pictures on that you most want in your life. And it can be houses, it can be clothes, it can be, sitting in a garden, it can be whatever you want, whatever you really passionately want. And you have it in front of you and you look at it every day and you focus your mind on achieving. Well, I did one about 7 years ago, no, longer than that, before I left my job to move into Join Up Dots. And I actually found it the other day and I forgot about it. And I'd achieved everything I wanted, and they were all based around being free, not being told what to do, etc. So there was one about how much money I want to earn through Join Up Dots. That's achieved. There was another one that was about not being at my desk by 8 o'clock. Which I always used to be in corporate land. There was another one about travel, and there was like 6 images, and I looked at it and I thought, wow, I've achieved all those. And so I've moved on. Now, what I would say to him, and I said this in here, I said, what I would say is, think this: can you build the electrical company until you become the owner and then you're not working in the business? If you can, and I know you can, then you can have income coming in passively, which means then you can do what you want to do. And I gave him an example and I said, look, I now own a car parts shop. Now, I bought a car parts shop and I'm actually having, yes, I know I'm a podcaster, but I'm actually having to work in it 2.5 days a week, Monday, Tuesdays, and then Saturday mornings until I get all the issues sorted out, we get the money flowing in, we increase the customer rate, and we start making good money, and then I'm out of there, but I'm going to take the money with me. The money's going to come into my life, but I won't have the hassle. I'll be the owner of the business, but I'm not working in the business. Okay, there's a big difference to that. And so I said to him, does that make sense? And he came back and he said, yeah, it does. I already have an employee. We do all the work after our day jobs and on the weekends. It's pretty cool that I've been staying crazy busy and I haven't even advertised yet. It's all word of mouth. So I went back and said, get on Google My Business, start getting those word of mouth people to leave reviews, and then your business will just explode. Once he gets another employee in, then he can reduce his hours and then start building towards the photography business. Okay, it's all income streams coming into your life. Now, a lot of people that connect with me think that online business is like the magic ticket, where you basically throw up a website and you sit behind it and you don't actually have to be involved in the business. That's a website. That's not a business. If it's a business, you're involved in it. And certainly if it's a personal business, you've got to be involved in it, because ultimately you've got customers. People will buy from you. Now, some of them you will connect with personally. Some of them will click on links and buy stuff. But don't think that is the way it's going to operate seamlessly right from the very beginning. Even in my life now, and I make a bloody good income through Join Up Dots now, I literally can, close off 3 years really, and then come back. Obviously I'd still have to produce podcasts because otherwise I haven't got a show. But literally I can just close off for 3 years and come back and I'll be perfectly okay financially. Now, that wasn't the case in the beginning, certainly wasn't. And of the people that come through to me, I would say probably 95% don't buy anything and 5% do. So it's a very small market. So you need to get the traffic flowing into your business. And whether it's by word of mouth or whatever, it takes time. Yeah. And so just to sort of emphasize that again, in online world or anything, we've got bills to pay. Be real. There's a bill. There's a strapline for you. So we've got to pay that, and it's all very well going, no, don't worry about that. That'll take care of itself. Why don't we do stuff to take care of that, so then we can do the things that we like more and more? I love travel. I love just turning off the computer and disappearing. And so all my businesses are tailored towards that. So through Join Up Dots in 2020, I made a decision that I'm only going to work with 10 people. 10 clients through my coaching, and other than that I'm turning everyone away, because I just want the freedom to be able to spend more time working on the car business until that's sorted. And then I'm going to build the caravan park. If anybody's been listening to the show, I'm going to build a caravan park where people will rent out space to put their caravans or their RVs, and a yearly retainer basically, and then that's more passive income. And once you get all these streams coming in, you really do have choices, and you can decide what you want to do when you want to do it. But it takes time. So for Lucas Gordon in Denver, Colorado, thank you very much for dropping us a line. And it's lovely that you stay in contact with us, and we can see, how your life is changing and stuff. And it is changing for the positive because you're positive and you're keeping focused on it. And for anybody else out there that just wants to drop us a line and ask a question or just muse about something, I will try to answer every question you've got. Some I will answer personally, some I will send videos to you, others I will weave into a show and then respond in this way. So everybody out there, let's be pragmatic. Let's not buy into the, oh yeah, I can have an infinity pool by building a website on Monday and then Wednesday it's all done. It takes time, and if you can find an income stream that you can get going quicker, even though it's not your big dream, then think about it. Is that going to be easier for you to then transition to the dream, even if you don't like it? I do lots of things that I don't particularly like, but I'm willing to do it because it gives me the lifestyle that I do want. Okay? Really have to think about that. And also with the vision board, do that. Jot down, 5 or 6 images that you'd really love and you can focus on, and every day look at it and try to think of ways that you can be 1 or 2 steps closer towards it. It's not law of attraction, it's law of action. It's taking action towards stuff. And once you do that, you're on your way. Until next time, my friends, I will see you again. Thank you for dropping those messages through to us, and I will see you again very, very shortly. Cheers. See ya. Bye-bye.
That's the end of Join Up Dots. You've heard the conversation. Now it's time for you to start taking massive action. Create your future, create your life. It's the only life you've got. We'll be back again real soon. Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots. Join up, Dots.